Lord, give these loving people the strength to do your work today. Let them be messengers of God, not of man, of God. And may your word come to as many as you see fit. Amen.
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 Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you feel good?
Have a good day, guys.
Having been inspired, they take to the streets with our flyers to publicise the event. But rather worryingly, back at the hotel, Nathan already seems to be finding the deception harder than he imagined.
There's going to be a lot of this. The worst bit of it is someone putting faith in somebody, and that somebody's me. And I'm not what they think I am.
Join the UK's Pastor James Collins and guests at the Lakewood Theatre for a unique healing event.
Meanwhile, the flyering continues and a local radio station puts out some ads to reach a larger audience.
Log on now, giftsofthespiritministry.com.
At the end of our first day in Dallas, we go to visit Ole Anthony and Pete Evans, who know the truth behind our mission. They run the Trinity Foundation, a group of Christians who investigate fraud committed by faith healers and televangelists.
Who are you?
Hello, I'm Derren.
You're Derren. You're the leader guy.
They've been instrumental in a number of high-profile TV exposés and are regularly used as consultants to the US government. As one of the founders of Trinity, Ole has enjoyed being the scourge of the televangelist movement for the last 30 years.
I was known as the Antichrist when we started working for the Senate Finance Committee. Now I'm promoted. I'm Satan incarnate.
We've come to glean any last-minute advice that Trinity may have to help us achieve our goal, and also for Nathan to find out firsthand the scale of the deceit here in America. I asked Ole what motivated him in his crusade. He recounted the story of a phone call he says he received from a woman right after she had seen him on TV, successfully exposing a televangelist.
She had a 13-year-old daughter that had multiple sclerosis. And there was a testimonial, they had these pre-produced testimonials where a woman had made a $1,000 vow of faith and supposedly was healed of multiple sclerosis. Of course, it was an actor that did it. And so she, unbeknownst to her mother, over the course of a year, paid off the $1,000, mostly from her grandmother. So at the end of that year, when she finally paid it all off, she wasn't healed, she was far worse. She called the man of God that told her that she would be healed. And he told her that the reason she wasn't healed is that she had secret sin in her life. And this little girl, now 14, went in the backyard and she poured a can of gas on herself and committed suicide. And the mother just begged me to do something about this. We are so sickened by what we see these guys taking advantage of people, that if you're successful in teaching this guy that you took off the street, quote unquote, to do the same thing that they're doing, there couldn't be a better example to show how foolish these people are to continue to supporting these idiots. You've got to be a hypocrite for a while so that the reality can be shown. Otherwise, this project will fail, because you're the key. We'll do everything we can to help you. Huh?
We had decided before leaving our hotel that it would be useful for Nathan to deliver an informal sermon to a few members of the Trinity Foundation for them to cast their critical eyes over his performance. However, when it came time to set up for this, it transpired that Nathan wasn't at all happy with the lack of prep time he'd been given.
I think we need to do a little bit of consulting Nathan about what you want to do, because otherwise I'm just going to be fucked off, and then it's not going to be very good. So it's really up to you.
No, but this isn't a situation with a...
Look, I'm saying it is, so that's all that matters until you can convince me otherwise. I didn't do this for any other reason except for when you guys asked me, I would have said no. I said, is this serious? Are we going to do this properly? I'm not an idiot. I'm going to do what I think's right at the end of the day.
At the moment, we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to get by.
Don't worry about it. Monkey or perform, and that's it. Monkey or perform, done.
Well, I'm sorry it's been sprung on you a little bit, which I think isn't ideal. It wasn't sprung on you on purpose. There'd be no benefit in doing that at all.
It's very difficult to believe.
Despite Nathan's concerns, he went on to deliver the first part of his act, where he describes his personal history of how he became a faith healer.
My name's James, and when I was younger I had everything. For whatever reason, that wasn't enough for me.
At the end of his performance, the audience had an opportunity to give some feedback.
Very, very good.
You've just started doing this, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm not a preacher in any way respect at all.
You know,
You did unbelievable.
you were, but it's very powerful.
I thought you were speaking directly to me. You seem to be without pretense, and that's the most powerful thing that you can bring to the table. I'm super impressed, you guys. I really am.
That's such a relief.
At the hotel, Nathan and I do some more work to give his preaching power and punch.
You cannot fill that God-shaped hole with money. And in your head you're going, oh yeah, as you walk away. And that preacher said to me, you cannot fill that God-shaped hole with sex. And that preacher said to me as he looked down the barrel of that television camera into my heart, you cannot fill that God-shaped hole with drugs. So that last with drugs, it's just like literally, don't put any emotion into it. It's just like somebody's shown you two words and you're reading them out. So hole, pause, with drugs, but quiet. Do you want to just give it a stab? So be very clear. That preacher said to me,
and that preacher said to me, you cannot fill that God-shaped hole with sex.
I can see Nathan keeps getting better, but I still don't know if his performance will be strong enough on the night to create the effects we need.
You cannot fill that God-shaped hole with fuck.
After the training session, we leave to do some more promotion for the event. And to maximise what little time we have left, with flyers in hand, we head to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium to drum up some more interest.
If you like, I'll say a prayer that your team does well. I can't say it's going to win. I can only ever ask for things to do well. Yeah?
And later on, we pound the streets downtown.
Just having a revival next week, and if you'd like to come along, it'd be fantastic.
After a long day, and with the temperature dropping, we take our jet-lagged bodies home to bed.
It doesn't feel right for one of these places.
We've been told about a well-known local faith healer called Pastor Sean Pinder.
Oh, Pastor Sean, lovely to meet you.
We turn up unannounced to meet him where he's guesting at a small service in the unlikely venue of a children's nursery. Pastor James asks Pastor Sean and his host if he and the camera crew can stay, and luckily they agree. So Nathan takes his place at the back of the room to watch at first hand a genuine healing service.
Homosexuality is not okay. I don't care what all police say.
He has an extreme style, and once the crowd are at their most receptive, he starts the healings.
If you are Indian, you are hard of hearing, I want you to come up here. You, come here. You hard of hearing? If we close up your left ear and speak to you, would you be able to hear?
This man says he's partially deaf in one ear, which Pastor Sean is quick to express as a more major affliction.
You can't hear nothing. Oh my God. Somebody shout, be open! Be open! Be open! Be